Welcome you to the Board of Commissioners, Town of Redington Shores. The regular meeting is Friday, February 14th, 2018 at 6 p.m. Happy Valentine's. Please rise for the pledge. You said Friday. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all. Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum.
Here.
Commissioner Henderson.
Here.
Commissioner Neal.
Here.
Vice Mayor Capper.
Here.
Mayor Adams.
Here.
Attorney Van Horn.
Here. First order of business, approval of the minutes for regular meeting Wednesday, January 10th, 2018. Workshop meeting, January 31st, 2018.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for regular meeting January 10th, 2018, and workshop meeting January 31st, 2018.
Second.
Motion and a second, in discussion. Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum.
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson.
Yes.
Commissioner Neal.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Capper.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes. Next, ratification of bills for January, February 2018.
I make a motion that we ratify the bills of January and February 2018.
Second.
Motion and a second, in discussion. Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum.
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson.
Yes.
Commissioner Neal.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Capper.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes. On the commission reports, I will begin it. This will be my last full meeting. I will be doing a half a meeting, I guess, in March, and be doing the workshop meeting the end of this month. And like I say, it's been a pleasure. Thank everybody for their support. Well, I've been here, and I'll probably do it. Thank you again in March. And by the way, Chris, you've got a nice looking haircut.
I can wait till March and cry in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Going on with the undergrounding. We started out with 22 easements that we needed to get from people that live along Gulf Boulevard for undergrounding up to their either residence or to their business. We so far have 20, so we're down to getting 2, and I'm pretty sure we'll probably have those done in the next week or so. Where the undergrounding then is the forecast right now, and nobody hold me to this, is to start in July. And as I've talked before, it's all 3 towns. We're doing them together. Redington Shores is always privileged since they had, Redington Beach had 4 easements to get. North Redington had 4, and we had 22. So we got the winning stick there.
They should start in our town first, then.
Well, thank you for all your hard work, Mayor Adams. You really worked hard on this.
Thank you. Other than that, I don't know anything else really pushing right now. So I'll pass it on to Vice Mayor Capper.
Okay, I'd like to give you the report on the building permits for last year, the total for last year. We had a total of 805 permits, 463 were building permits, 112 was electrical permits, 137 was total mechanical permits, which is air conditioning, and total plumbing permits were 93. And then for January, they didn't give me my full thing, what I wanted. Anyway, for January 2018, we have no new homes. We had a total of 93 permits for 19,092.65. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to jump back to me a minute. I forgot the fire report. Anyway, in the month of January, there were 3 non-emergency fire responses for this time period with a response time of 8 minutes, 33 seconds. There were 5 emergency fire responses for this time period with an average response time of 6 minutes, 22 seconds. There were 12 non-emergency EMS responses for this time period with an average response time of 5 minutes and 26 seconds. There were 14 emergency EMS responses for this time period with an average response time of 5 minutes, 34 seconds. And that I got. And I don't have a police report for tonight. I think the chief is out. Right, Mary? Now, continuing on, Commissioner Neal.
Good evening. Mr. Mayor, I want to thank you for all the time you served and everything you've done for this town.
Thank you.
Certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
I only have a couple of things this evening. I have a picture of the inside of a sewer line. And what it shows, I would like for people to see this, because it shows the accumulation of what happens when people put grease down their lines. The particular picture we have here is a crossover pipe that's run under the road to what we call a Y, where two houses connect to it. So this builds up over a period of time. This particular line that we have in general is not blocked all the way. It's partially blocked, but we have had them that have been blocked all the way. And this costs us money as taxpayers. This is probably, this one particular line to clean it out after it's all said and done at the end of the day, probably gonna cost us a couple of $1,000s. Oh, this is just over grease. And think about this, this is not just a Reddington Shores problem. This is a problem everywhere in the country. When you have an old system like we have. The newer pipes can handle it better, the PVC. But I just want people to be aware of what kind of problems that this creates. Plus it builds up in the lift stations. And then we have to do more maintenance work on top of that to clean them. So I won't rant about that no more. I have one thing, 175th Avenue. That's basically what you would call a feeder road that goes back into a fair amount of houses. We have people, we have a sidewalk there to walk on. People are walking down the road and creating problems with the traffic coming through. So I just want to ask people, walk on a sidewalk. That's what the sidewalk's for. And it's safer for you to walk on the sidewalk than it is to walk in the road. And the parking on the road. The road's not to park on, the road's to drive on. Park in the driveways. And don't block the sidewalks. That would eliminate a whole lot of issues that we have on that road and a lot of complaints. So other than that, I mean, I just want to ask people just do what's right. It's common sense. And with that, that's all I have for the evening.
Thank you, Commissioner Neal. Commissioner Henderson.
Well, I'm very excited to say that Reddington Shores will be open to use credit cards very soon. Yes, I know. So I think, Mary, probably in the next month or so, they're going to come in and set it up and do all that. I don't know if the mayor has signed the contract yet, and did you look at it? I don't know if we got that
We
yet.
haven't received.
Okay,
No,
but we're definitely, the ball's rolling and kind of got
Should be
stalled.
within the month.
Yeah, within a month.
I'm
But
so excited.
I'm very excited. Mary, look at the face. She's very excited. Oh, well. But I think it'll be a good addition. I really do. We have a whole lot of need for it, that's for sure. I'm also still working with the alert system called Everbridge, which is like an emergency notification system that it will send automatic texts out to residents and whatever, and we get the phone numbers. The utility companies will give us the phone numbers, so we don't have to go through the hassle of trying to, get everybody and get their phone numbers and whatnot, so it should really help, and I want to get that in place before hurricane season. Nobody wants to hear hurricane season, but Everbridge has a contract with Pinellas County, so we're working closely with them to get it all hammered out, and I actually have a webinar tomorrow on it, so I'll have more next month. And I also wanted to remind everyone that Mayor Adams' retirement party is March 10th from 1 to 4 at Seabreeze. So please come get your tickets at Town Hall, because I don't believe we're selling any at the door, correct?
Correct.
So come get your tickets, $15 a piece, and we'd love for you to tell Mayor Adams how much you appreciate him. And that's pretty much all I have. Oh, Town Hall is closed on Monday, sorry. That's all.
Thank you, Commissioner Henderson. The $15 does not go to me. Commissioner Drum.
I've got a few things about the library. The appraisal has been done, and so now the committee can meet with Madeira Beach's building officials to get things rolling for the long term. The proposal from the library consultant has been received for planning and layout, et cetera. That's moving forward. Also, February 15th, they have a tax help from 10 to 1:30. That's tomorrow, right? And then Monday, the 19th, the library is closed for President's Day. And the Friends are having a book sale on March 16th. That's it.
Thank you, Commissioner Drum. Okay, on the old business, first reading ordinance 18-02, beach access usage.
Ordinance number 18-02, an ordinance of the Town Commission of the Town of Reddington Shores, Florida, pertaining to beach accesses, restricting the use of any such beach accesses for purely pedestrian use for ingress, egress to and from public beach areas of the Town of Reddington Shores, except as may be otherwise authorized by the Town Commission for limited periods of time and for a limited purpose, providing for the inclusion of such ordinance in the code of the Town of Reddington Shores, Florida, providing for an effective date.
I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance number 18-02.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Neal?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Packard?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Next, resolution 02-18, opposing offshore drilling and usage of seismic air gun blasting. If you don't know what that is, that they use that to find the oil, where to explore for the oil.
Resolution 02-18, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the Town of Reddington Shores, Florida, to express the Town of Reddington Shores' opposition to offshore drilling activities, including seismic air gun blasting.
Motion to approve resolution 02-18.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Neal?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Packard?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Next is approved smoke testing sanitary systems. Commissioner Neal?
Smoke test is, as you know, is we can locate cracks in the pipe, to clean out caps that's not on, or anybody that's illegally connected to our sewer with storm drainage leaders. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve the smoke test of $11,550. That would be the cap bid to do the smoke test in the entire town.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Neal?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Packard?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. Next is planning and zoning recommendation 173, 07 Gulf Boulevard, the old wine cellar property. Mr. Goings.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Mayor, Commissioners. I want to wish you a happy Valentine. Hope we get through this so y'all can get home to the wise and you have a good evening.
I don't either.
So I blew that one, didn't it? My name is Alan Goins, and as a child, my dad always told me, if you don't brag on yourself, son, if you're good enough, you don't have to. But the situation is that I've not done development in Reddington Shores before, so I think it's necessary I can start off right now and tell you who I am and what my intentions are. And my name is Alan Goins again. My company is AG Development. Our home office is there in Tampa. And So we have been working on this project here for quite a while, but prior to coming to this project, I need to tell you that I'm retired a Navy Civilian Corps officer in CB, 2 tours in Vietnam, and as such, I had a tremendous amount of development and instruction experience in the National Capital Region area for the Washington area. I was responsible for the Northern Virginia, Maryland, District of Columbia planning and development, and so involved that as well as a master plan for a lot of the major structures, including my alma mater, the Naval Academy, which I graduated, and as well as my postgraduate work in engineering in Georgia Tech, and I do have 3 engineering degrees. And so after my 20 years in the Navy, I came out of the Navy, retired, and went into development, and I formed my company in 1989. So I've been basically developing ever since, and I probably achieved well over $500 million worth of construction development in my history of my lifetime, and I'm quite proud of that fact. But I need to establish some credibility to you. First of all, let you know that part of my things I'm quite proud of is that I was selected to basically be the officer in charge and direct liaison for the Vice President of the United States, Chief of Naval Operation, Commandant of the Marine Corps, Chief of Naval Personnel, and the Commandant of the Coast Guard. And it's quite clear that for a couple of reasons, I wouldn't have that job. One, if I'm not reasonably capable, and 2, I have a great credibility, and I take great pride in that. And my word is my contract. We have been working on, we presented, my staff came and presented to the Planning and Zoning Committee a couple of weeks ago, showing you that what we intend to do for the rest, to demolishing the old wine cellar and replacing it with what I call a niche shopping center. It's a niche shopping center consisting of a small retail and restaurants. And so this is that aftermath of what I've been attempting to do a year or two before. I've been on this project since 2015. And at that point in time, I was asked by the public to come in and look at doing a public shopping center on the site. You probably have this history, the rumors and everything. And so I worked on that diligently for quite a while, and only to find that the public kept wanting to enlarge a facility on the site. And it got so large, quite frankly, 2 stores with parking underneath, it got too expensive. And so it just was not a proper thing to do. Fortunately, I did have a backup position, and that backup position is what I'm talking to you about tonight, and its development. It's approximately 18,500 square feet, what I have planned for the project. That compares with what you see now, the wine cellar, which is approximately about 19,000, about 500 square feet. Basically, the public, so they wanted to put on there was 32,000 square feet and elevated, so they put a parking structure underneath. And then, of course, I did have a situation where I was not able to have a continuous contract because my contract expired with the public's deal. And they had a backup contractor who wanted to put a condo hotel on it. And, of course, you can imagine what that was going to be in excess of 40,000 square feet. So that was what I've been involved with. I got back in the contract because I've been very persistent about wanting to do this project over here. And so I've been working on a situation now whereby working primarily with North Rankton Beach with a majority of the development taking place, and then here with the mayor here and the staff, Steve. I see Steve here tonight, where we've been working to coordinate with some of the preliminary plans for the development of the northern half. Now, in the course of the process of working with them, I learned that you have some policies or ordinances, I don't know which, but basically it says that one, you had concerns whereby what I had in mind, it would require a couple variances if it could be approved. Those variances would be, one is that they wanted me to develop at a floor level something like be about plus 12 to 14 feet above sea level, and that would raise the entire site about 8 to 10 feet above what your current datum is now, which is plus 4 over there. And so it's something that, one, for 2 reasons, I didn't really want to do that, primarily due to the fact that, one, is that it would raise everything up in like the public steel and have you viewing over the back fences and losing a lot of the privacy and the neighbors. That didn't make any sense. Secondly is that it makes it quite difficult from planning purpose to have people trying to go from a parking lot datum of around plus 4 feet to retail floor level of about plus 12 to 14 feet. So that precipitates a need for me to try to come back to you and ask for variance number one, is to go down to, get to keep the project to be planned on the ground floor, with the idea that I would compensate for that by designing all of the projects, all at the facilities to be capable of withstanding the surges as expected by the FEMA. And the concern was at that time was that your community has a concern that if I basically did not raise everything up to that level and the tract that you would lose some of your FEMA insurance privileges or rates. And so I went to the research that particular aspect of it, and it got me into the Atlanta office of FEMA and made it quite clear what I'm doing, and they understood it clearly what I'm doing. And they said this would have no adverse impact whatsoever on your citizens in this community in terms of your FEMA rates. Now, I don't have that in writing, as I explained to the P&Z Commissioner, my staff did, but we do have it, and that can be produced, and I asked Steve here to just go ahead and get a confirmation of that so you can understand and have some comfort in that issue. The second area of a variance need would be I will have a restaurant, and quite frankly, I'll tell you right now, rumors are rampant. I'm planning on I have executed a lease with Dunkin' Donuts, and they require a pickup station for their donuts in their typical facility. And so that would be the second variance request. So due to the fact that there is a variance request and that you do not do these concomitantly but sequentially, I decided to go ahead and phase the project and do phase one over North Reddington Beach and get started with the planning and construction of that, or my primary clearing and demolition, while I'm going back with you with the variance request for the two items we just addressed. So what I came into P&Z Commissioner, and this is, I'm transparent about this, or it didn't appear to be, but your staff knew about this. I was going to come in just showing no development for your portion of the property at this time. So the idea was to introduce what we're going to do with the project for phase one, with the idea I was going to come back with you with phase two, with my proposal to bring in the Dunkin' Donut to go in that property just on the north side and adjacent to 174th Avenue, okay? So everything I thought was pretty much clear. I had a complete staff, and the reason I didn't bring my staff tonight is because I think what we're talking about tonight is between your board and myself. And in a situation, I want to make sure you understand what my intentions are, and so I need to understand what your concerns are, so I have an ample opportunity to work with the staff and work out issues and solutions, which I'm famous for doing, to get you comfortable with what we're planning on doing there. So that's why I was in it the way I did. So when it came for a roll call at that point in time, the roll call's coming down, and without any discussion, one of your P&Z commissioners made a motion that we close off 174th Avenue to the project, with the project which I call Reddington Village, and close it off with its entirety. And of course, that was unanimously voted by P&Z, and I was sitting there, relatively speaking, dumbfounded, and then didn't have a chance to talk, didn't have a chance to comment, didn't have a chance to address whatever the issues might be as you reflect back through your citizens. And so that's all that I can do. I attempted to get in touch with you. I know it's pretty short order, and I apologize for that. And I certainly wasn't trying to circumvent any type of sunshine laws by doing this. But anyhow, so just time's of the essence. I did want, quite frankly, to try to delay this, and so I can come back with you and have a chance to talk with you, so there'd be no misunderstandings of what my intentions are or what the impact would be with your community and your citizens. But anyhow, the idea, I'm here, and that's because you said you didn't want to give me that extension, and I can understand that, so there's no problem here with me. The situation here that I have developed throughout the state of Florida and Georgia, and generally, you will not go into any community where I have developed where you can find, and you can certainly, I would challenge you to do so, see if they would have a reason not to have me back in, or better still, if they would like to see me back in. Because I can tell you right now, in my most recent two developments I've done in this state, working on right now, I've been asked by the government to come in and develop for them, and based upon our ability to develop and our ability to get things done properly. So, again, I'm patting myself on the back, and I don't mean to sound that way, but I have a short period of time here with you, and I've got to get across my message here, that we're not here trying to ramrod any type of project on it. We're here to work with staff, as we always do, and that's our reputation. And so my thought process here now is that I'd like to see if I can, in some way, to understand what the issue on closing in the 174th, I think I know what it is, quite frankly, but I'll have an opportunity to solve the issues, solve the problems, which we do. And so that's what I like to do, and I know this is not the time and place for it, and I know right now the procedure of your boards is that I cannot introduce anything new. But the fact of the matter is, as I said earlier, what was presented at your roll call was something new, and I wasn't prepared for it, nor did I have an opportunity to respond to it. So that's where I am on the situation. I'll show you now for your information what we have planned and what I present to your staff and the commission. This is the project. It's about $18,500, and I'm going to leave here and get in front. And so here it's 174th. As you see, I do show an ingress-egress point, and I do show one versus what's existing there too. And by the way, we have closed on the property. I closed on it probably about 6 months ago. So
That is the same as the site plan that all the commission has.
yes, it is the color.
It's prettier.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
There's a reason for that. But anyhow, so you see right here, as addresses Reddington North, is I show nothing here, and I'll make it clear, I do have intention to present something, that what we call on page 2. Now, please do not get alarmed, or anybody get alarmed what this green space is. I just got this fresh off the press, and they had no reason for that. We don't trying to take the people's frontage there on that piece of ground there. But this right here is the property that we currently own. As you see here, it's a little over 2 acres. And so the idea, we have planned 3 ingress-egress points. Those 3 ingress-egress points, quite frankly, is right here, coming off 173rd, coming to the back of the property, and it's coming in to the intersection at this point. The second point is the main entrance here, coming off Gulf Boulevard. And then the third would be the entrance here, as opposed to close one, but obviously utilize the second one with modifications for off 174th. So that's what is presented, and the purpose of which is to go forward. We've already basically coordinated, got a site review comments for this one, and it appears like we're in pretty good shape to get started on this part here. But we would, quite frankly, with all diligence, proceed with this and with the submission of the variance request, so we can get the 2 variances reviewed and considered, okay, that we talked about. And so then with that, then we would be submitting for the second phase and bringing in the facility and what that facility is, again, as I pointed out, is a Dunkin' Donuts. Now, that Dunkin' Donuts is situated as in our plans. Well, let me show. Can I show you phase 2, what I intend to do? I mean, it's new evidence, but it's your call. It has nothing to do.
I think it's fine for you to show it.
Yeah,
I saw it, right?
Yeah, you
the
had-
original one.
Yeah, you're right. So I'm just trying to be transparent about this whole thing.
Well, if
It
that's
does
the
look like I'm not. That's not the case.
I don't, did everybody see that one? The original one?
I haven't seen that one, no.
Huh?
Can you see this in the back, or you
No,
want?
can
No,
we
they
just
can-
scoot so we can see it too?
It's on the TV.
Turn around, you can see it.
Oh, good, thank you.
Okay, all right. All right, so, again, this, for you down in the audience, the plan was here, the primary entranceway is off Gulf Boulevard, and we've already taken this to the Department of Transportation, got reviews and everything, and what the plan is, engineering-wise, sound acceptable, okay, engineering-wise. And so, and if I be a right turn in, right turn out here, it requires us to move down the pedestrian traffic here, which has been coordinated through to avoid the congestion area of the main entranceway. We have the bus stop still there in that corner, as you see here. That's what the plan is for phase one, what we presented, okay? And so we covered all of this at this point. What I showed for intending for phase two, and this is difference here is bringing in the Dunkin' Donuts. Now, it's quite clear to me and to what we have to do in the Dunkin' Donuts to make to get a satisfactory orientation here, and we do have about 3 or 4 scenarios that I'm working on right now for alternative issues, is to bring this in so that it has the proper ability to have stacking ability for the cars coming in, for both taking your order as well as receiving the pickup. And the idea of the plan was coming in off 174th, and you can see my dots are good, and you come in and make your pickup here, make your order there, pick up here, and then you go out here. Primarily is what they would do. And this will be two-way. They can go back out here, but they can probably won't go here. That's the plan on that. This Dunkin' Donuts, well, it has a Baskin Robbins as well as Dunkin' Donuts, the two items that they sell on this map. I think I covered what I intend to do, and I just want to show you this so I can see where I'm headed. Now, what I'm doing right now, and spending a lot of time on, is laying out some alternatives on this, trying to see how I can basically make sure that I can mitigate your concern on 174th Avenue. Because I can tell you right now that if I can't get access on 174th Avenue, one, clearly Dunkin' Donuts is gone, but two, we have a situation here where I've got some real bad transportation issues. People come southbound when I come down here, either come in the back entrance or come and make a U-turn and come in this entrance here. That creates a lot of transportation conflicts in the area of our pedestrians, and I certainly like to minimize that, okay? So the other thing is that I don't really like when I do shopping centers, and I've done plenty of shopping centers. I'm the first shopping center developer for Publix. I've done 25 of them. But I try to do this thing so it's safe. And the way to make things safe, and I'm not trying to go against the grain here, but the way to make things safe is so you don't put too much traffic in one spot. You've got to have some flexibility on entering and leaving your shopping center. If you put too much traffic, you'll throw too many cars, and that creates conflicts, such as I saw coming out here today, coming off Park. It's terrible traffic. But so that's what we have. If you take this out, quite frankly, that means southbound traffic will have to come out here and make a U-turn, or come over here, and they're probably trying to make the U-turn, knowing people as you do. The other thing is that you come in here, they can probably come in here, but that's pretty sort of a roundabout way of entering the center and coming in the back door, so to speak. So my point here is I don't want to alarm you, but I do like to make sure I got some reasonable comfort and when I'm proposing the variance, so I can come back and show some alternatives or some concepts so that we can look at it. So I wouldn't be showing you one option, this is the way it's going to be, take it or leave it. I certainly wouldn't be doing that. I'll be showing some options on how we can discuss this. Your property line is something like goes like this.
Right.
Something like that. So everything north of that, my red line there is in your community, everything south is in their community there. Obviously, I do not want to lose Dunkin' Donuts. There's a lot of things that happen at that spot right there. Quite frankly, if I lost them and I couldn't put anything in that spot, for lack of egress, would probably, that area be access to our needs. And if it be access to our needs, that means we'd probably be wanting some way to dispose of it, and someone else would be coming in. So this is an issue that's going to be looked at over again if we don't do it. And I got to tell you, I think it'd be a much better win-win situation if we can address this and get some kind of a solution rather than get passed to another third-party developer to do this. The other alternative is to basically try to, and anybody else try to replace with something else, but the only logical things that go in here, quite frankly, would be probably a bank, and banks have an interest in that, quite frankly, and restaurants. But the restaurants will have greater traffic requirements and greater table requirements than Dunkin' Donuts does. So that's what I'm saying on this. I'm not trying to put this, it's a lesser of 2 or 3 evils. I'm not trying to do this on you. I'm just saying this is a very moderate and reasonable way of getting this in, to come up with a balanced project on this. So I got some ideas how to do this, and I'll do this with the proper introduction on your part and ability for me to work with your staff. But on the other hand, I'm here now, and if the recommendation of the P&Z Commission, quite frankly, is upheld by you, and that this access is denied, then generally my hands, I guess at this point, is pretty much tied. I've got to come up with another type plan altogether, which is not going to be a very good plan, I don't think, for anybody. I really, yes, sir.
As I look at that right here, you're looking at about 4 cars, 5 cars that can stack there, and then they're gonna be on 174.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that just not gonna work.
Well, it's right. Now, I really would not want to get into that. The requirements for stacking for Dunkin' Donuts is 5 cars for making the order, 5 cars for picking them up, total of 10 cars. I don't have 10 cars there, granted. And so my point is, I stand here now, we will have 10 cars if we come back and see you again. We will. Now, if the situation, if you want to shut this down, then we're going to have to go to Plan B. And that's not going to be very nice.
Even if we shut that down tonight, what would cause you not to come back and say, I've got this problem solved, if we can have the entrance on 174?
Well, to do what I'm talking about, it's going to require basically a lot of engineering, a lot of studies, okay, and it's going to take a lot of time. And so I think that, quite frankly, I've got this Dunkin' Donuts is in there with the idea I'm supposed to get this thing open by 2018. I'm running out of time. That's not your problem, it's mine. But chances are that we're probably, if that area is closed, we'll have to take advantage of maybe moving Dunkin' Donuts down here. If I can get Dunkin' Donuts to approve going from this position, and it's not 100%. That means it's going to take place Friday. It's going to be in Dunkin' Donuts. And then if this, I'll make this excess.
You know, cars stacking on 174 bothers me, it bothers the residents down there. And also, right down the street, we're looking at putting a fire station right there. So you're having, it is, I don't know.
Mayor,
I don't know how the other commissioners-
as I said earlier before, I've been basically a master planner for the National Capital Region for years. I think I got to build it. I can plan something here to make some sense, and that's what I would like to do. It is a problem we can solve, and it's a problem we can solve working together. I won't come out and say this is the problem. I'm going to say this is some of the concepts and we're discussing. But we can solve that problem, and we can see that we can get the stacking so it's not going to impact the 174th. And we can do this so it will not create safety hazards for the people on this matter. So and I've done a lot of work on this already, and I can't introduce it here because it's not in the scope of this meeting.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
If we close off 174th for you, is North Reddington okay with that?
North Reddington they're unhappy about it. I'll say that now. So it's not so much what North Reddington, but what we would do.
Well, do you have, in other words, the question is, do you have approval from North Reddington if that's right now? And if we close that off, do you still have approval?
As of now, yes.
Have you been through planning and zoning yet at North Reddington?
I have taken the site plan, it's got the site plan back with comments. I reviewed that with the mayor and the staff last week, and so we're ready to go. And all I got to do is respond to their comments, and the comments are, quite frankly, comments, the normal comments we have for them, go ahead and take it to the P&Z. I chose to take it to you first before I took it to them.
I got you.
I like what the Planning and Zoning Board minutes said, that this town works faster.
Well,
I thought that was appropriate.
sir, the only difference is what you're saying is that, the difference is, on that, with North Remington, they will go through the variance procedure and the site permitting procedure simultaneously. You do it sequentially. Nothing wrong with that. Some communities do, some don't. But if I had to go through it sequentially, then I would lose about another 2 or 3 months. Now, time, quite frankly, is of the essence, because like I said, we've owned this now for 6 months, and no fault of yours, but this was tied up over the Christmas period, and we lost about a month and a half to 2 months with nothing happening to it. Because of the staff wasn't able to do anything with it during that period of time. So we're short on time.
Is there anyone in the audience that has an opinion, that lives down on 174th or anywhere? Besides the committee? Or lives in the town? Okay.
I still think I go along with what the mayor's saying is Dunkin' Donuts is definitely going to stack up traffic there. And then the other thing with the fire department coming in there, it's going to be a tough one. I mean, if fire truck starts pushing a few cars around, they're mean.
Commissioner Neal, you have any questions?
I'll look at the revised plan.
Yeah.
I see rerouting the traffic is the way to make that work, maybe.
Yeah, if you can come up with something else and bring it back, that's my opinion.
Well, that's all I ask. That's all I ask. I want the opportunity to give you something that basically addresses that. And so if I didn't think that I can accomplish it, it would not prudent for me to stand here and ask for it, because that's going to take time and effort on my part as well. But I think I can, okay?
Well, whatever the commission votes tonight as far as site plan approval or whatever conditions they put on it, for the commission's information, any applicant can always come back and ask for an amended site plan or an amendment to the site plan. And it's done all the time, especially when there are pods left and out parcels left. The site plan needs to be amended because the location of the building isn't always fixed, and obviously this one's not always fixed. So whatever the commission does tonight, the applicant would always have the right to come back and ask for an amendment to the site plan. And apparently, I wasn't aware there were any variances that were going to be required in this, but yes, that is a different procedure and not something that the commission could do tonight one way or the other as far as approving or disapproving of any variances. Those probably would go before the town special magistrate.
Can't we just table this and let him bring his revived plan in?
No, actually, I'd like to make a motion.
Good. Go ahead.
As to the site plan at 17307 Gulf Boulevard, the old wine cellar property, I move that the town commission make the following findings of fact. That the proposed 24-foot drive aisle on the northeast portion of the property located in the town of Redington Shores and any ingress/egress to or from 74th Avenue North will cause an increase in traffic on 174th Avenue North and is incompatible with the neighborhood and surrounding uses. Number 2, that an 8-foot solid masonry wall is necessary between the proposed project and the residential parcels contiguous to the projects that are located in the town of Redington Shores in order for the project to be compatible with the neighborhood and surrounding uses that are located in the town of Redington Shores. Number 3, that the town of Redington Shores is specifically not approving at this time of any future development on the portion of the site plan labeled as future building pad. Based upon the foregoing findings of fact, I move for approval of the site plan, but only in accordance and subject to the following conditions. Number 1, that any portion of the 24-foot drive aisle that is within the town of Redington Shores as depicted in the northeasterly portion of the site plan be eliminated. Number 2, that any curb cut onto 174th Avenue North be eliminated, and that there be no ingress/egress from the parcel onto 174th Avenue North. Number 3, that a solid 8-foot high masonry wall be required along any portion of the property line of the development that is next to any residential properties located within the town of Redington Shores. That any future development on the portion of the site plan labeled as future building pad must first be submitted to the town of Reddington Shores as an amended site plan, and that if any future building on such location desires a drive-through facility, that it obtain conditional use approval from the town of Reddington Shores prior to any permits being issued. Number five, that within 30 days, the applicant submit written confirmation from FEMA that the elevation issue, if granted a variance, does not affect the Reddington Shores flood insurance rates. Number six, that within 30 days, the applicant submit to the town of Reddington Shores a new site plan depicting all of the changes as set forth in these conditions. I so move.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Any further discussion? Mary, call the roll.
Commissioner Drum?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Neal?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Capper?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes. All right, sir.
I have a question of clarification, what they mean by conditional use. Did you come back with a conditional use for the new site plan?
I think that a drive-through facility of any kind requires a conditional use in the town, a restaurant drive-through. So if you're talking about a Dunkin' Donut, I mean, that's always been there. That's, to do that, you have to have a conditional use approval or special exception or same thing. So that's a separate process that you'd have to ask the special magistrate for, I think.
We don't even allow them in our town, supposedly, right?
There, yeah.
Yeah.
Restaurant drive-throughs aren't allowed as a matter of right unless the commission finds that because of the way they're configured and the limited number, that it doesn't impact the rest of the zoning district. So that would be something you have to do anyway. That might be your third variance, but it's really conditional use.
Okay, well,
It could be processed at the same time as your variance. And again, this doesn't preclude you if that, the motion passed, right? This would not preclude you from coming back in with an amendment that shows the exact configuration of the Dunkin' Donut and where the stacking is going to be. Because obviously, Dunkin' Donuts got their requirements for their locations, and I've been involved with a number of Dunkin' Donut facilities at Mills Park. They've got their requirement. The practical thing is a lot of times it needs more than 5 or 10 spaces.
okay. So if I come in now with a plan that basically shows what I call the phase 2, and with Dunkin' Donuts in the parcel, with the plan to alleviate the stacking, potential stacking issue and traffic congestion on 174th. The process to do that now is what?
It's a new application.
New
It starts
application.
over, it goes through the Planning and Zoning Board for their recommendation, then would come before the Town Commission. An amendment to a site plan is processed the same as an original site plan.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, going on to approval of splitting costs to lay pavers on beach access at 178th Avenue West and Lee Avenue. I believe Vice Mayor Capper about this thing.
Yeah, last week or so, we had a meeting with the builder there. I think his name's Pete. And he said, he asked if he could go ahead and he wanted to do a wall there, which the wall I thought was good because of the water flow coming off that property would get it from running over to the neighbor's property. And also split the cost of putting pavers in. And all I told him is I would take it to the commission for approval or disapproval.
I don't necessarily think we should approve or disapprove this yet. We need to, it seems to me like it should be a workshop item, because
I
it's never
agree.
even been on the list of wants for the town. We shouldn't be basing what we spend our town money on from somebody coming to us. We need to have it on our wish list, and we need to be a
Well,
priority.
the purpose, I think, was just to bring it up. I think,
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
agree,
fine.
I agree
Yeah.
with you on it.
Yeah.
It should have
Know
been a
what it
workshop, right.
Yeah, we don't even have any, so
Well, we got
I'm
an,
asking.
about
Yeah.
5 grand it was, okay.
Yeah, well, we got
But, for us or? split?
No, total.
but they got to jackhammer that whole thing up and whatever too.
No, they don't.
They wouldn't jackhammer?
Not necessarily, no. Sometimes it's best just lay them on top.
That would be raised up quite a bit, but.
It depends, yeah, like, it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
It's level.
But we'll take it to the workshop, okay,
Yeah,
Mary?
we'll have some numbers on the cost and all that for the workshop.
Some kind of discussion, I just throw out, why don't they do it?
That's what I thought was thrown out.
There you
They-
go.
They're the ones who
I'm
want it.
serious, I mean,
Yeah, they
I
would-
mentioned that too.
They wouldn't have to wait on us then, would they?
Because we didn't even budget for anything like this or
Right.
anything at all, so.
okay, any, public comments? Yes, sir. If you stand up here, state your name and your address.
I just got a question.
We got to know who you are.
My name is Steve Cottle. I live at 960 182nd Avenue, Reddington Shores. I had a situation, and I don't know, and that's one of the reasons I came down here. I don't know what the laws or the situation is with the public access. But I've had people in my public access fishing, sending my dog crazy at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was just wondering if we could possibly pass some kind of law or some kind of amendment or something that says public access from 10 PM to, 8 AM or 6 AM is closed, where that I don't have to have my dog going crazy and people standing next to my fence, looking over my fence and in my backyard. So I just, I know the public access is y'all's property and,
Tell you what we'll do, we'll take that to a workshop.
You'd be busy.
You come to the workshop.
yes, sir, I sure will. Thank you very much.
That's what the storm
We might have something on the book already.
What was your address again?
We might have
What was
something
your-
on the book already.
COTTLE, Cottle.
Nope. The address.
960 182nd Avenue.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to drive by and see it.
Any more public comments? Yes, ma'am?
Christina Warren, I live at 180th. There's a program, I don't know who put it up, but by the park, Constitution Park, there's like dog bags and then a doggy leave-or-do. I wonder if there's any chance of expanding that program, or, I'd be willing to do the research to find out what other cities are doing, but you can't walk by a bus stop without flies and, they're full.
Oh, they're throwing it in the
Exactly.
trash there?
Yep. So, which makes sitting at the bus kind of unpleasant.
I understand.
So I just wondered if there was some, because that seems to work great, but I don't know who's picking it up or who's responsible for
We
it.
do, we do.
Okay, so is there a chance to, I don't know if it's public awareness, if it's, please don't put your dog waste in the trash bin by the
We could-
bus stop?
We
Or,
could add a little
What-
dog, little,
Yeah, we could
At
add
each bus stop, yeah.
at the bus stop.
well, I don't know that that'd take care of it, because you still have the smell and you still have the flies.
Right.
So I'm just wondering if
But
there,
at least they're picking it up.
oh, absolutely. That problem solved, it's not going into the watershed, that problem solved, but where we pick it up and put it up,
Okay, we will
yes.
take a look at that.
okay,
and
thanks.
See what we can do. Any more public comment?
Put it aside, you put it aside the pipe.
All right, with that,
Happy
next
Valentine's.
workshop meeting is Wednesday, February 28th at 6 PM. The regular meeting is Wednesday, March 14th, 2018 at 6 PM. With that, this meeting is adjourned.